The cabin lights glowed softly as the plane cruised above the clouds, but for Emma, the world felt anything but calm. Her twin babies, barely 6 months old, were crying in unison, tiny faces red, fists clenched, their wails cutting through the quiet hum of the engines. She tried everything. She rocked them gently, whispered lullabies, kissed their foreheads, and apologized under her breath to the passengers around her. Being a single mother was never easy, but moments like this felt unbearable. She could feel the weight of judgment pressing down on her from every direction. Then it happened. A sharp voice broke through the noise. The flight attendant, tall and impeccably dressed, leaned toward Emma with a tight smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Ma'am, you need to make them be quiet. Other passengers are complaining. If you can't calm them down, we may have to make arrangements when we land." The words struck Emma like a slap. Her cheeks burned with embarrassment. She nodded quickly, fighting back tears, whispering apologies as she bounced the babies a little harder, her heart racing. Around her, passengers avoided eye contact, some sighing dramatically, others shaking their heads. She felt small, alone, and completely overwhelmed. Beside her sat a man in a tailored navy suit. He had been quiet the entire flight, observing but saying nothing. His posture was calm, composed, almost detached. Emma assumed he was like the others, annoyed, impatient, silently wishing he had chosen a different seat. She didn't dare look at him again. The babies cried louder, their discomfort amplified by the pressure change in the cabin. Emma's hands trembled as she fumbled for their bottles, her voice cracking as she tried to soothe them. "Please, please, it's okay," she whispered. The flight attendant crossed her arms, clearly irritated. "This is your responsibility," she said firmly. "Other people paid for a peaceful flight." The words stung. Emma wanted to explain that her husband had passed away just months before the twins were born. That she was flying to start a new job in a new city because staying in her old home felt like living inside a memory she couldn't escape. That she hadn't slept more than 2 hours at a time in weeks. But the words stayed trapped in her throat. Suddenly, the man beside her unbuckled his seatbelt. The small click echoed louder than it should have. He turned calmly toward the flight attendant. "That's enough," he said, his voice low but commanding. The flight attendant blinked, surprised. "Sir, we're just trying to ensure comfort for all passengers." He gave a slight nod. "I understand. But threatening a mother who is clearly doing her best is not the solution." The cabin grew quieter, curious eyes shifting toward them. Emma looked up, stunned. The man's expression remained steady, confident. "Perhaps instead of pressuring her, you could offer assistance," he continued. There was something in his tone, authority, certainty, that made the flight attendant hesitate. She straightened her posture. "And who are you to tell us how to handle our flight?" she asked defensively. The man reached calmly into his briefcase and pulled out a sleek leather card holder. He handed her a card. Her eyes scanned it once, then widened. Her entire demeanor changed in an instant. I apologize, sir," she stammered. Around them, whispers rippled through the cabin. Emma glanced at the card but couldn't read it from where she sat. The man turned back to her with a gentle smile that transformed his once serious face. "Hi," he said softly. "I'm Daniel. And I believe we can make this flight a little easier for you." The flight attendant quickly offered warm towels and moved a passenger to create extra space. Another attendant brought complimentary snacks and pillows. The shift was immediate and undeniable. Emma sat there in disbelief as Daniel carefully held one of the twins, rocking him naturally as if he'd done it 1,000 times before. "I have a daughter," he explained quietly. "I remember these days." Tears finally spilled down Emma's cheeks, not from shame this time, but from relief. "Thank you," she whispered. Daniel gave her a reassuring nod. No one should feel alone for doing their best. As the baby slowly quieted, the tension in the cabin dissolved. Later, Emma would learn that Daniel wasn't just another passenger, he was the airline's newly appointed CEO, flying incognito to observe customer experience firsthand. But in that moment, titles didn't matter. What mattered was kindness. What mattered was someone choosing compassion over criticism. And as the plane began its descent, Emma realized something powerful: sometimes help comes from the most unexpected seat beside you. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more inspiring stories that remind us all that kindness still exists in this world. Your support helps these powerful messages reach more people who need them.